haven't had time to mention the crazy other aspirations that we've got, like a new God Wars dungeon.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Bistro, and I have Buckmere with me again.
What is up, everyone?
Last week we talked about what you would like to see in the next boss, but today we're going to be covering something mentioned at RuneFest yet again by Mod Mark himself at the very end of What's to Come 2015 and beyond. What we are going to be talking about is the possibility of a new God Wars dungeon coming out. Not something to replace the current one, but in fact a second God Wars type. What do you think of that information?
I think it is super awesome. Just for anybody who was I'm not gonna try to elaborate too much, but anybody that was there when the original God Wars came out, like, that was a huge deal. Like, not only did it add so much content in both terms of bosses, but equipment. I just can't imagine that happening again, and how awesome that would be, especially in the game's current state.
Yeah, I think with EOC as a well-situated update, finally, the inclusion of a second God Wars dungeon, and one for, you know, the higher level players of the game, because that's what the original God Wars was for. They should try and go for that again, but at the Virago scale, you know, just absolutely epic boss fights, you know, epic trash to destroy, to actually get access to these boss fights, and a beautiful scenery. I think that's what they really should go for.
I totally agree. With the way the game's evolved since the original God Wars release, it really would be absolutely beautiful.
Yep, and I think they should keep a lot of the mechanics similar to how God Wars Dungeon currently runs. I mean, there should be some sort of kill count. You should have to kill a certain amount of creatures from a certain faction, or maybe they'll do something where you just have to kill a certain amount of creatures in order to get access to a throne room. That would be really cool. But style-wise, personally, I would like to see something that looks kind of like the Ascension Dungeon. Said that one kind of funny. Or in Dungeoneering, the Warp Floors. I think that would be a cool color palette to go off of. That kind of is the opposite of the already existing God Wars dungeon.
That would be really cool. It would look awesome.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of talked about that, what would you kind of like to see in this new dungeon, either visually, mechanically, bosses, just regular monsters? Let your creativity go wild.
Alright, well, first off, I don't really care which gods, but in my opinion, when the original God Wars released, it really brought light to some of the gods, other gods like Bandos. Lore-wise, there was Bandos here and there, but like, that was the first, as far as I'm aware, it was the first real big stepping stone to introducing, Bandos as a god into the game. And with the ability to add more, I would really, really like to see maybe some more, either ancient gods, with anybody that's done quests, with Gothic's gone, and there's so much confusion, god-wise speaking, currently in the game, that it would be so ideal to add more to that, whether for the good or bad or however you want to look at it. So that would be one thing I would love to see, is introduction of either more gods, demigods, anything of that sort. I think it would be very, very suiting, and obviously we stated that, but full advantage of everything the game has going for it right now, like the Virago fights, stuff like that, where it's more than just the hack and slash that was God Wars when it came out. But I mean, like we said, that's all the more the game was at the time. Now I would love to see the ability to take the evolution of combat kind of stuff, all of it. That would be really cool in my opinion.
Even though the God Wars are coming out, doesn't mean that there won't also be abilities with it or new gear that you can get. And maybe you can get a bunch of these new abilities from the monsters upon release instead of getting them through another way, so you have to learn to use them while you're learning the content, and that would be really cool too.
That would be very awesome. Why not? As long as you're going all out, just add that much more, make abilities that are specific for it.
Yeah, and there's just so many possibilities to what could be done here. They could actually have people take roles, kind of like in the Calphite King battles where there's evoker, tanks, where there could be someone that is a little bit more in the back, like that heals people, that does area of effects, kind of like that healing ice crystal that came out with the Zaros abilities. I think that would be a new dynamic to the game and kind of a role that a lot of people would want to fight for.
In my opinion, that would be very awesome to see more the ability. More defined roles. It would be a huge addition.
Yep. So, any closing thoughts on this?
Just that I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what we get to experience.
Yeah, I really hope that ModMark falls through with this. I think I'm not the only one wishing that there was a really hard God Wars dungeon in the game these days, because the only bosses I seem to fight now are Solo or Calphite King, and I haven't got a chance to fight Virago so much, but it's just nothing really compares to going in and having a night at God Wars back in the day. That was just awesome.
It was a blast, and I couldn't imagine if all that fun was brought back.
Yeah, so if you are interested, go ahead and leave a comment as to what you hope to see with the new God Wars dungeon, and also we're going to leave you with a question for next week's video. The topic's going to be Floor 61. What are you guys hoping to find in that? Are you hoping to get further storyline for there to be a better boss? What do you think? Comment below, let us know, and you will have a chance to be featured in the next video. Thanks you all for watching, and we'll see you guys all next time.
See you guys.